Welcome back. Well, what can you do practically and quickly to reduce your risk of developing Alzheimer's? Well, welcome back here to the Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel, because I'm going to be looking at some simple evidence-based ways to help future-proof your brain, and they are easier than you might think. So the International Alzheimer's Prevention Expert Group, which includes my longtime friend and wellbeing pioneer, Patrick Holford, has identified 4 key areas that could slash your risk by over 80%, bringing it down to less than a quarter if you act early. So, what are the 4 quick wins? Number 1, vitamin D, also known as the sunshine factor. So vitamin D, we make it from sunlight, especially around midday during the summer months. So we're getting a bit more of it, hopefully right now. But here in the UK and actually in most northern countries, we simply can't make enough, especially during the winter. And that's why supplementing becomes essential in the winter months. So a Dutch study found that those with low levels of vitamin D, along with omega-3s and B vitamins, low levels, were over 4 times more likely to develop dementia. But here's the good news. Those who supplement with vitamin D have around 1/3 less risk. So even moderately low levels, so that's under 62.5 nanomoles per litre, can triple Alzheimer's risk, according to French research. If you have darker skin, you need more sun to generate the same levels, making supplementation even more important for you. Next up, omega-3. Feed your brain with fish. Yeah, fish really is the ultimate brain food. So the omega-3s, you find them in oily fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines. Omega-3 fats, especially DHA, are literally what your brain is made from. So eating fish at least once a week reduces Alzheimer's risk by 1/3. And a more recent review confirmed that even 1 daily serving of fish or seafood cuts cognitive decline by 30%. So the UK Biobank study, over 250,000 people, found that higher omega-3 levels were linked to a 20% lower risk of dementia. Even more impressively, an American study found that higher omega-3 was associated with more white matter, that's brain connectivity, and better cognitive performance. And then Professor William Harris from the Fatty Acid Research Institute calls omega-3, quote, a safe, simple, cheap and effective tool to forestall Alzheimer's, and I couldn't agree more. Brilliant stuff. So, number 3, well, we're talking about the B vitamins. B for brain fixers. So specifically here, we're talking about B6, B12 and folate. So these don't just support general brain function, they're also absolutely essential for anchoring omega-3s into your brain cells. So without enough, a toxic compound called homocysteine builds up. Now raised homocysteine levels, that's above a marker about 11, are a major red flag for brain shrinkage and Alzheimer's. But worryingly, half of people over the age of 60 have homocysteine above this level. And the Dutch study that I mentioned earlier found dementia risk rises even above a level of 8. So Professor Joshua Miller calls high homocysteine a canary in the coal mine. But the fix is simple. If you supplement with a good B complex containing around 500 micrograms of B12 plus methylfolate and B6, really good news. Also, you can try to include more greens, more beans, more nuts, more lentils into your meals, because that all shows more B vitamins in the diet. So cutting out ultra-processed foods, really good news. Have more of the beans, nuts, lentils, really, really good. So when we're talking about food, we've got the good guys there that I've just talked about, but also there are the silent brain saboteurs in dietary terms. And yeah, we need to talk about sugar, especially refined white carbs, bread, pastries, pasta, sugary drinks. You know, convenient food may be convenient and comforting even, but they are stealthy saboteurs when it comes to brain health. So Dr. Robert Lustig, he's a professor emeritus of pediatrics at the University of California in San Francisco. So he says The brain needs the most energy of any organ, so it has the most mitochondria to make it, and sugar damages mitochondria. Well, Dr. Lustig is one of the world's leading voices on the dangers of excess sugar and metabolic dysfunction. I think he's brilliant. And he joined me actually on the Earle Wellbeing Show podcast. You can find it in the archives. I'll pop a link here, because we had a fascinating deep dive into how sugar affects not just our waistlines, but our brains. So yeah, you will find the link in the description below. And then looking further ahead, a major new neurological study, and that was published just this month, involving over 2 million people, found that those with metabolic syndrome, and that's a cluster of issues including blood sugar problems, were 24% more likely to develop dementia early. The key is to keep blood sugar stable, and one way that doctors track this is with a marker called HbA1c, and the lower and the more stable it is, the better for brain health. So several studies show that a lower HbA1c means a lower risk of dementia. And then one especially large study, this was over 370,000 older men with diabetes, found that keeping this stable just over 3 years reduced dementia risk by 1/3. So there you have it, 4 practical, proven steps to dramatically lower your Alzheimer's risk. And I know that there's a lot of chat around this right now. We've just had World Alzheimer's Day, and the charities that have been quite vocal in raising funds for drug development and for Alzheimer's care. Nowhere, though, do I see funding going to further nutritional research by the charities that are asking for donations. Nor, actually, if I'm honest, do I see much on their websites. So when I last checked, Alzheimer's Society and Alzheimer's Research UK do provide nutritional information aimed at dementia prevention, emphasising the benefits of the Mediterranean diet, which is really good, and certain nutrients, but nowhere near the detail or the levels that I have mentioned here. If you look at Dementia UK, they offer dietary guidance that's focused on supporting individuals already living with dementia. And they do recommend taking a vitamin D supplement, but there's not much else there, to be honest. So if you are supporting these charities, why not contact them and ask them to spend at least some of your kind donation on this area of prevention? And my thoughts are that we really do need to raise awareness of this. And it may have to come from the grassroots level up, as Big Pharma seem to only be researching new and expensive and patentable drug options, when perhaps there are some really efficient, proven, evidence-based nutritional options. Well, if you'd like to hear more about this, I'll link to a podcast that I recorded not that long ago with Patrick Holford, and also the link to the really great charity called Food for the Brain. I think it's excellent. It's a free resource for all of us at any age. To sum up, what is the bottom line for help for our brains? I would say you could crystallise it in this. Get enough vitamin D, prioritise your omega-3s from fish or supplements, support your brain with B vitamins, and cut back on sugar and refined carbs. These are 4 really small, sustainable changes that can pay off hugely in the long run. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more wellbeing wisdom. And please do share this with somebody who might find it helpful. Easy to do, could make a massive difference. See you back here next time.